Hello and welcome once again to the Jeffco to Go podcast. Dennis Barker Jr. here, sports editor at the Standard Banner. There's no Bo and no Andy today, but stick with me. I've got a few special guests we're excited to talk to today, and I'm excited for you to hear from. So don't fret, you're not going to listen to me ramble for 30 minutes, I promise. First, you guys know the drill. Let's take care of some housekeeping and hit the high points of what all's happened in JCHS athletics since we last talked. We'll start out with football. Those guys have a big non-region matchup at home with Morristown West coming up. As of the taping of this episode, the Patriots easily handled Morristown East 42-7 before heading into their open date for the week. On Friday, they'll look to maintain their sole ownership of Hamlin County. And then next week, they can lock up the region championship with a win, once again at home, over Westridge. So these next 2 weeks, come out, be loud, and quite possibly be a part of history as those guys look to do something that hasn't been accomplished here in 20 years. Sticking with happenings over at Leroy Shannon Field, Sean Way and his Lady Patriots locked up the district regular season title for a third consecutive year. It's the first time in the program's history that it's won 3 straight district titles. The Lady Patriots haven't even lost a match to district opponents since 2020 and are about to head into the postseason where they will look to make even more history by sewing up a third straight district tournament title. So congratulations to them on already making history, and good luck in achieving that much more in just 2 weeks' time. Speaking of district tournaments, volleyball is set to open the postseason on Monday night at home against Cocke County. The Lady Patriots will host the Lady Red, a team that they split regular season matches with during the year. That match will be at 5 p.m. on Monday, and tickets, I believe, are $7 at the door, so be sure to show up, be loud, and hopefully see them off to a good start in the double elimination tournament. Monday's match will be at Jefferson County High School, but the remainder of the tournament will be played Tuesday forward at Morristown East. With that said, let's get into today's show and talk with our guests. We've already talked some about championship performances today, and I'm pleased to be joined by a championship squad today with the Jefferson County Lady Patriots golf team. Girls, congratulations.
Thank you.
Incredible year for you guys. Bryson, I wanted to start with you. I'm at Coach of the Year, Bryson Jurek.
Thank you.
10 wins this season.
Mm-hmm.
Been an incredible year. I know that at the start of the year you envisioned that this all could be possible, but as the scores start rolling in last week or earlier this week, I mean, just what are your emotions as you're figuring the math and seeing, okay, this is actually going to happen?
Well, that's the most the most nerve-wracking part of the entire experience is sitting there and waiting group by group. Like when Emily came in, she was the lead person in her group, which we knew all of the key people were going to be in that group. There were all the lowest people, the people that we had to first, second, third individually. That's where that group was going to come from, and she beat them all. She stacked up well, and then after that, it's just waiting on everybody else, waiting on the other pieces. And we knew that our next competition, team-wise, was going to be Northview. They were heading up, and those Northview girls were about to start coming in. So as we're sitting there, it's just kind of a waiting game. It's always a waiting game, and I hate math, and I hate. You can ask them. I was so nervous. I was sweating the entire time. It was not a good sight when that first Northview girl came in. And Sarah came in, and they had it all the way down to the last 2 holes. It was neck and neck, and the Northview girl edged Sarah out by 2 strokes, and so we knew that it was all down to that one. So we were all just sitting there huddled. It was a very stressful time, at least for me. Absolutely, very stressful.
Emily, I'll ask you. He said that he's pretty much sweating bullets over there. Just how entertaining, I guess, was it to kind of watch him squirm a little bit?
Well, that was entertaining. I was also squirming, though. I was really nervous. We were waiting for the last Northview girl to come in, and I knew she could go low. We've seen her score go low several times this season, but I had heard she might come in at 82, which would take me out of medalist round and our team, so I was really nervous, but it was funny to watch him squirm too.
You mentioned the medalist round. You locked that up as well. Talk about your thoughts being a district champion golfer.
Well, it's kind of funny. I honestly didn't realize that I was the district champion until an hour after everybody had came in. And my mom was she's like, no, she was sitting there and I was like, wait, we just won as a team. And I was like, wait, I just won the whole thing. And she was like, yeah, Emily. So it was honestly surreal. I never expected it.
You've won, this was your 8th medalist round of the year. Obviously, I imagine this one ranks at the top.
Yes, it does, definitely.
Bryson, you talked about the Northview team. I know, I think it's just a couple of weeks ago, you said that you played a match with them and they shot lower than you were expecting them to. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's about that time that you knew those were going to be your competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't been used to Northview yet just because they just have been added to our district this year. That was the first time, like, we kind of knew going into the year, and we talked about it. The four of us have talked about it. We knew that we had a pretty good chance at winning, or at least making ourselves have an opportunity to win this district tournament. As long as we didn't collapse or anything like that, we thought we had it pretty well locked. But whenever Northview came out to Seymour and we saw what they could do for the first time, that was the first time we've actually played Northview. We were like, all right, this is gonna be a fight. This is gonna be a close call. At that point, we really just had Morristown East that was giving us some trouble. We had some up and downs with them as well, and that was our one loss on the year was to them in that 4-way tournament out at Sevierville. But Northview really kind of opened our eyes out there, and we knew moving forward that we gotta buckle down and take this seriously. It was a good eye-opening experience for all of us, and ever since then we knew kind of what we had to do, and we were able to get it done. So.
Sarah, I'll go to you. Last year, you guys finished runner-up in the district. So coming into this year, I mean, obviously, Bryson had a lot of faith in you guys. But I mean, did you imagine that piecing together a year like this would be possible?
Last year, I think we set a goal to make sure that we won this year because it sucked bringing in a runner-up plaque, and we definitely thought it was possible, but it was a fight this year to bring it in, but it was worth it. It's a very rewarding win, for sure.
You guys only lost one match all year long in every match that I mean, not counting like the Morristown Invitational or anything like that, preseason stuff. What's this year been like just for you, especially being a senior and, being able to have one of your best years this year?
Mm-hmm. I think it was a very successful year. We had our struggles. We had a lot of those, but it's kind of all surreal now because it's over almost. Monday's it, so, but I think we had a really good season, and it's been really fun, I think.
Emma, you were a part of things late in the year last year, kind of solidified that third spot in the rotation. What from the back half of last year through where we're at this year, I mean, what's this journey been like for you?
It was definitely an interesting journey, but it was so much fun because last year I got to be on the back end of it, and I got to watch my 3 older friends go on and compete and represent our school. And then this year I got to take that third spot, which was special to me because this is their last year, and then next year I'll have it, and it was just really special to win along with them.
Obviously, you got region coming up. Like Sarah said, it's winding down. You've only got that, and then if you qualify from there to go to state, there's only 2 more matches that you guys can play. With these 2 being seniors and move on, I mean, is it kind of hitting you that you're going to have to take the reins of this program going into next year?
Definitely, I'm gonna miss them a lot, but next year I know that I'm gonna have definitely a big responsibility to step it up and hopefully make it as an individual really far in the golf season next year.
Emily, you already talked about, just kind of how, you didn't even, it took you a while to realize that you were district champion, but Madison did win district her senior year, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So to add to that legacy, I mean, being the second one in just 3 years, and I mean, we're just 2 years removed from that. I mean, how much more special does that make it?
It's awesome. I mean, whenever I joined the team freshman year, Madison was a role model to me, and to be able to follow after her, it's just amazing. I love it.
How much did it help being able to play behind somebody like that? I mean, she was so good, especially her upperclassmen years, and then to go on to play at Carson Newman.
It helped tremendously. I even play practice rounds with her now, and she gives me advice, and it helps a lot. So, I don't know. She's just been a really special part of this team. She still interacts with us all the time. So.
I think one of the special things about Madison too is always her demeanor on the course was good for these 2 especially, and then Emma being around it to see. Madison's one of those people that even when she has a bad shot, you can't even tell. She holds it together so well when she's out on the course, and that's one thing I try to tell these these three. You're gonna have bad shots. You're gonna hit some balls in the woods. You're gonna hit some balls in the water. It's not the end of the world. You keep fighting. And Madison's is a good example of that. She really is. So I think just having her around has been very, very beneficial for the three of them as far as their games go. So.
Well, and even as just a college sophomore, she's already kind of elevated herself as one of the top golfers over there at Carson Newman. You took over this program 3 years ago, so she was a senior going into that year. How much easier did she kind of help make the transition into that role for you as a coach?
Well, very, very. She made it a lot easier. One, because she was, like I said, she's just that kind of role model for everybody. And I did have my fun with the boys that year. That was a very fun year for me, trying to get used to being around teenagers and being thrown into the ringer as a first year teacher was fun. But she was able to take the girls and just be that positive role model. And she's not one of those people that I never really had to spend a lot of time instructing and doing all this stuff with, because she carried herself so well and she knew all the stuff that she needed to do. And not only that, but she showed people that what needed to be done. Not even by telling them, just by her actions and what she did. So it made it a lot easier, especially with the girls, to kind of guide them into, they have a positive role model. They know what to look for. And it's somebody that is in school with them. It's different coming from me than it is from somebody like her. So it was a lot easier, especially on the girls' side of it with Madison around, being able to ease myself into that position with them. And I think a lot of that's why we've had so much success, at least developing our games over the last 2 years, especially.
Well, and that's something I want to ask too. I mean, obviously that first year, Madison, she was typically far and above the competition in a lot of matches. Whenever she moved on, I'm sure a lot of outsiders were probably going to be able to say, okay, well, what's this group going to do now? And to be able to go runner-up in the district last year and then win the district this year, what has that told you about this group right here with us today?
Well, they're never going to give up, that's for sure. They're all hard workers. They're all extremely intelligent individuals, great students, and they know what to do. That's one thing I've never had to worry about with the three of them, especially. They know what to do and what needs to be done. Sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us, but it doesn't happen all the time. And when it does happen, we're able to take it, and then we step back from it, and we're like, all right, look what happened. Look what it cost. We had this discussion at Sevierville. This is what happened to us at Sevierville. That one loss that we had this year, we kind of lost it mentally. We brought back, we refocused, and there was a point where we were like, yeah, we've got East, we've got Northview, we've got some other competition at this point. The way we're shooting, if we don't get our act together, we might not even advance out of the district if we play like we did. So that was a good time to come together and think of it, and just being able to have, the former role model in Madison, and then instilling those characteristics, and then moving on from where we were able to shake back up real fast. And I think it was very beneficial.
He mentions the loss at Sevierville, and let's not get too dramatic about it. You guys still finished a close second, so it's not like you just fell off a cliff. But still, do you this is for any of you? Do you think that was almost a needed moment before you guys went into the district tournament?
I think it was definitely a needed moment. I think, we weren't taking our abilities for granted, but I think we definitely needed that wake-up call that, hey, we got to earn this. It's not something that's going to be given to us. So I think it was very beneficial for us.
Yeah, I think we got a little too comfortable right there in the middle of the season. There's a lot of questions and a lot of concerns, and we weren't kind of executing the way we needed to. I think it kind of snapped into gear after that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, like I said, this has been this last week, really 2 weeks, has been a really special time for all of you. Obviously, the district champions, most important out of all that, but still, win the IMAC Invitational. What's that experience been like for you all?
I think we came into this season, we had all these goals. We were like, we don't want to become second place this year. We want to win everything. We want to live up to our full potential. And I think IMAC was the first step in that. Whenever we won the regular season IMAC, that was awesome. And then we all were on the all-conference team, which I thought was really cool, especially for Emma because she made a lot of strides this year. But then whenever we went to the actual invitational, that was just our first tournament since that MIT. So I think it was a great experience. And then we ended up winning it, and that was awesome. So it gave us a lot of confidence for district.
Emma, I mean, you also made All-IMAC. All three of you made All-IMAC. How special was that for you?
It felt really good. I was really happy to make it just because I had a really rough patch there for a minute with a few matches, and so to make it, it felt really good, and it kind of helped get my motivation back so then I could, do better and succeed in district and hopefully regionals.
Well, I mean, for all of you, I mean, the way that the IMAC was decided this year, doing it three different matches, going by an average score or total score, however you want to look at it, does it make it that much more rewarding rather than just a one-off match?
I definitely think it does, because it really just shows what kind of golfer we really are, whereas anyone can have a great day, anyone can have a bad day in one tournament, but 3 different matches really just helped show what we work consistently, and the fact that we pulled through, and that was awesome.
Yeah, we kind of used that as a stepping stone once we got to that. Emma mentioned the fact that she had a rough few matches there. There was a time where I honestly thought she was going to give up on me. I really did. She kind of got to thinking like, this is this year, but next year I am going to be the number one. Like, I'm going to be the person. This is going to be my team. I've got to lead this team. And that gets to you, especially in a sport like golf. But being able to not only win the IMAC, but win the IMAC over 3 matches, we kind of use it as like, hey, you're all IMAC. But you're not all IMAC because of one time. You're all IMAC because of 3 times. You've done this 3 times. You have proven this season that you can do it. Let's go out and do it again. And that was very beneficial for all 3 of them to have that. Like, this is not just a one tournament thing. This is an entire season thing. You've proven it over and over and over again. Let's go out and get it done, because we can do it one more time. So I think that transition there with IMAC was very beneficial for us.
Well, I think
I
think that definitely showed in the round that you shot in the IMAC Invitational. I mean, go out and shoot a 79. I think there were only 2 boys that shot lower than you, and I don't think the girls' competition was really that close, was it?
Aside from Emily, Briley from Greenville, and then Sydney from Morristown East, the rest of them were just way on out there.
Right.
We had that one little group in the 70s, and the rest of them were upper 80s and 90s. So they were they distinguished themselves very well out there. Absolutely.
Sarah, going into that IMAC Invitational, I mean, you guys had already locked up the IMAC championship, so being able to pretty much solidify it, even in a one-off match against not just the IMAC but a few other teams from the district, how special was that for you?
It was very special because I had a rough few matches. Those end matches were it was a struggle for me mentally, and so coming out there and doing better than I had done in those previous matches really helped my confidence and really made it even more special than had I been confident going in and done the same. So
You're going into this region match, obviously season on the line again. You guys were here last year, obviously, going to play a familiar course that you've all played, the country club, several times. What are your all's thoughts going into it?
I think the country club has always been a course that we've all struggled on.
Okay, so it's not just Bryson.
No.
Okay.
It's not just me. No. They and this is not just in golf matches. Like I work for the Sneds Tour over the summer. They all play on the Sneds Tour, and there was the very first tournament that we had in May of over the summer, and every single one of them showed up to the tee box with just this. I could feel the existential dread coming over them. They did not want to play there. They didn't want to be there. They hated every second that they were out there, and they've done this for the last 3 years. So I think, especially for Emily and Sarah, I can't think of a more fitting place to maybe potentially have their last golf match. Go out there and take that course that you've hated for so long and turn it into something positive. It's very fitting in for them. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do out here.
I don't know about y'all, but like I personally hate that course. I think it's a terrible course. I don't think we should be
Hey,
playing there.
okay, listen, no
but-
country club slander, okay?
But
Is it just a
no,
Hamlin County thing?
I don't know.
No.
I
It's
hate
just
it.
a country
But,
club thing.
you
That's
know-
what it is. It's just that course.
That personally is not a very good course for me. But you know, the way that we've been playing, I feel like we won districts. I personally am going to go out there with a positive attitude because I feel like that's always a good thing to do. But I'm at least semi-confident in this. But that's an awful course.
Bryson, you might want to make sure that if they end up listening to this, they don't just suddenly start moving the pins right as
I know. I
these
think
things
that's what I'm
start.
worried about. I'm hoping that they don't do that. Listen, I'll go on record and say I like the country club because it is so challenging to get to individuals. I don't like the country club because I am one of those individuals. That's the thing. I've never played well, even in my high school career, and then out of high school, even playing now. I don't think I've ever played well there. And it's challenging mentally. That course is challenging mentally, and I think it's a very good place for this regional tournament. Last year we played at Elizabethton, which was that was a course. That was challenging, not mentally. That was just challenging because one, we didn't even get to play a full practice round out there. We hadn't even seen it really, and it's a lot different story. But this course we know very well. We're mentally prepared for it, and I hope we go and we show that.
I just think that we should, forget last year's regional tournament.
Yes.
Yes,
But,
we learned a lot. We learned a
Yeah.
lot from last year's regional tournament. It wasn't necessarily the best showing for us, but we go into this one with, from what I could see in the scores that came in from the District 1 tournament, we're going to have a pretty close battle for at least the runner-up spot. Now, Dobbins-Bennett, they're strong. They've got two girls that are just
One shoots a
insane.
72 and is
Yeah.
angry.
One of them shoots even par. One of them has the ability to go one or two over, if not shoot even par or better. They unless something happens there, it's really going to be a four-way battle for not only the runner-up spot, but with those two girls being gone, the three individual spots to move on to the state championship. And that's what our focus is. It's being in our individual games here and trying to make sure that we kind of best the people that are coming, at least what we can. I don't want to, what we can deem as our territory with the country club, because that we're familiar with it, we know it. It's not our home course, but at this point, it might as well be our second place from home because we play there so often.
Yeah, you've played there already twice, if not 3 times this year. I can't remember the schedule, but yeah, playing there so often, I know it's not a favorite of your all's, but just the fact that you do have such familiarity with it and it is so close by for you to play pretty much any time that you want. Does that help making this the match that decides who moves on to state?
I think it's gonna help just because we're so familiar with it, and I think all three of us had played this course since we were freshmen, just in SNEDs and in match as well. So I think it's not going to be a discover the course and try to work on what we do on the course, but mainly what we do inside of our head and what we're telling ourselves as we're playing on the course.
I think it's a great final round for us to try to get to state, because we've had all these bad memories there, and I think it's time to finish on a good one. So hopefully that's what we can do Monday.
I think that's a great way to look at it. All right. Well, I appreciate your all's time. Good luck in Morristown on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank
Yep.
Thank you.
On Monday.
And hopefully we got some state qualifiers.
I hope so. We'll see. We got to get over that hurdle with the country club, but I think we can do it. We got it this time.
All right. Well, guys, thank you all for joining us again. Remember, this is something that we put on for free at the Standard Banner. You can subscribe for less than $40 a year for a yearly subscription. Comes out to less than $1 per edition per week. On top of that, you'll have full access to our website where we post all of our content. Some content is posted as it happens, so if you don't want to wait for the hard copy, it's right there for you. To set up that subscription, call our office at 865-475-2081 during normal business hours. Those are 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. We are closed on Friday through Sunday, so be sure to get us while we're there. But again, that number is 865-475-2081. For the Jeff Go to Go podcast, I'm Dennis Parker Jr. Thank you all, and Till next time.